Hey there, it's Sue, and I'm back with another reading update. So, during the month of April, I read Can You Forgive Her by Anthony Trollope. You see that? Yeah, I just posted a discussion video on this book, so you can go ahead and check that out. Really great read, thoroughly enjoyed it. Looking forward to continuing the rest of the series at some time. Also, I think it was the 28th of April, I participated in the Dewey's 24-hour readathon, in which I read this group of books here. I read two fairy tales in the Doctor Who series, The Gingerbread Trap and Little Rose Riding Hood. I also read Henry James' short story, The Figure in the Carpet. I read a manga, Blood Lad, Volume 9 by Yuki Kodama. This is the final in the manga series. And I read the first of 3 short stories in this particular book, The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. And the short story I read was the title, Canterville Ghost. I did a vlog video of that, so you can go ahead and check that out, where I discuss each of these books and each of the stories as I finish them, so you get an overall wrap-up of what I thought of those. Since that time, I finished the other 2 short stories within this book. One of them was Lord Arthur Saville's Crime. That was really interesting. Lord Arthur ends up going to some kind of party where there's this man who reads your palm, and he ends up getting his palm read only to discover that he's going to commit some very serious crime. And this is right on the eve of his marriage. And quite shockingly, he decides, okay, I'm going to go ahead and commit this crime and get it over with before my marriage. Get it out of the way. It was shocking. It was unbelievable watching the mind of this character and what he does. I thought it was excellent. I really enjoyed it. The second one that I read, or I should say the third one, the final one in here, was The Sphinx Without a Secret. It was really like almost like about 5-6 pages. Very unmemorable, very uninteresting. I didn't really see the purpose of it. I didn't care for that particular one at all. But 2 out of 3 stories within here were absolutely excellent, and I really enjoyed those. I listened to the audiobook, The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place. This is by Julie Berry. And it's kind of a dark and twisted sort of mystery at a girls' school, St. Etheldreda's School for Girls. And there are 7 girls there. I believe the youngest is around 12, and they go on up in age from there. And they refer to as Pocked Louise, Dour Eleanor, Smooth Kitty, Dull Martha, Dear Roberta, Disgraceful Mary Jane, and Stout Alice. And those monikers are repeated over and over and over again within the book. Every time they're mentioned, they're referred to as, oh, Smooth Kitty did this, Stout Alice did that. I got a little annoyed by that, I gotta tell you. There is some humor in it. Like I said, it's a bit dark and twisted. What happens is the headmistress and her brother at the school die during Sunday dinner, apparently poisoned. One of the girls has an interest in science and happens to determine what kind of poison it is, and they sort of kind of decide that if their deaths is revealed, the school will close, and their sort of makeshift sisterhood will be broken up, and they'll be sent back home, and they don't want that to happen. So they bury the people in the garden and decide to try and solve the crime on their own. Although it could even be one of them. You don't know. It's sort of intriguing, but kind of fell flat for me. Bits that were funny, surprising. I mean, the ending was kind of intriguing. Middle was just a bit dull for me, and like I said, the constant repetitiveness of their adjective monikers, you know, Pocked Louise and Smooth Kitty and Stout Alice, and I got a little annoyed by that, to tell you the truth. I only gave it like around 2 stars, so I wasn't absolutely thrilled with it. It's set in like the Victorian era, but yeah, it just fell a little flat for me. Moving on now to what I'm currently reading. I'm still in the middle of this particular book, The Company of the Dead, by David Kowalski. This is that sort of, what do you want to call it, alternate history kind of story. I can kind of see where I am. I just haven't felt in the mood to pick it back up again. I keep being drawn to like kind of quicker, shorter things right now, sort of shorter things. But for some reason I haven't been able to pick it back up again. I am still curious. I still do want to finish it, but not sure when I'm going to get back around to that. Instead, my current reads are an audiobook. This is Elizabeth Peters' The Hippopotamus Pool. This is number 8 in the Amelia Peabody series. Amelia, her husband Emerson, their 13-year-old son Ramses, and their ward Nefret have gone back to Egypt to excavate an undisturbed royal tomb. which of course draws all sorts of, themed thieves and tomb robbers. And I believe this is the first instance where we will get to meet the master criminal. Kind of a thorn in Amelia's side. He will pop up quite often through the rest of the series. I'm not sure how far, because like I said, I never finished this series. There's some 19 books in it. But he's equally as clever as Amelia and will be quite a challenge to defeat. But I enjoy it so much, and the audiobooks are read by Barbara Rosenblatt are absolutely a treat. I highly recommend them. I'm also reading Sanctum. This is the second book in the Asylum series by Madeleine Roux. It's a YA book, horror. I read Asylum a long time ago, really enjoyed it. A group of these kids go to this summer course at like a pre-college type course, and the dormitory they were staying at is under construction, so they end up staying in a disused asylum on the premises called Brookline. And the things that happened in the first book were fascinating, and now apparently it's not quite over. Whatever happened at the end of the first one, it's pulling them back. It won't let them go, and they have to kind of return back to Brookline and perhaps find a way to stop the nightmares they continue having and whatever seems to be pursuing them. Yeah, I've just kind of gotten started back into this. There's one more book in the series right here called Catacomb. I think that might be the final one, and I think there was another book of like short stories or something along with it, but I literally just want to finish like these two and go from there and see what happens. But I really enjoy it. It's nice and creepy. And the final book I'm reading at the moment is Italo Calvino's If on a Winter's Night a Traveler. It's described as a postmodern book, something I'm not really familiar with. It's very, very intriguing. I want to read more Italian authors, so it was like one of the first ones on my list. And it's a really intriguing book because it's told in the second person, where you, the reader, are a character encountering this book. And it literally talks to you in the very first paragraph. There are numbered chapters and there are titled chapters, which I'll get into more when I discuss the book and I'm finished. But I just want to read you this first chapter, which is really strange. You are about to begin reading Italo Calvino's new novel, If on a Winter's Night a Traveler. Relax. Concentrate. Dispel every other thought. Let the world around you fade. Best to close the door. The TV is always on in the next room. Tell the others right away, no, I don't want to watch TV. Raise your voice. They won't hear you otherwise. I'm reading. I don't want to be disturbed. Maybe they haven't heard you. With all that racket, speak louder. Yell. I'm beginning to read Italo Calvino's new novel. Or if you prefer, don't say anything. Just hope they'll leave you alone. I got a real kick out of that. So find the most comfortable position. Seated, stretched out, curled up, or lying flat. Flat on your back, on your side, or on your stomach. It's an easy chair on the sofa, in the rocker, in the deck chair, on a hassock. If on a hammock, if you have a hammock, on top of your bed, of course, or in bed. You can't even stand on your hands, head down, in yoga position with the book upside down, naturally. He's like describing all the positions in which you can read the book, and it's super crazy. But it was interesting being a character within the book, and the way you're encountering the stories taking place, and another reader, and I found it really intriguing. So I'm currently about right there in the book, and I will let you know more about it when I am finished. If you have read any of these books, particularly this one or anything else by this author, let me know what you think, or if there's any others I should go, because I want to read more from him. I think I'm really enjoying it so far. Hopefully it'll keep up to the end, but trying to keep it all straight, it's a bit bizarre. Yeah, so that's my reading update so far, and let me know what you guys are reading down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.